Hi, John here. Welcome back. This is part 2 of my how to make a mannequin video. At the end of video 1, I had cut out all of my foam shapes ready for construction. Here they are. I couldn't resist. I had to stack a few together to see how it's looking. Another quick trim, I'm using double-sided tape to stick the foam layers together. As you're probably thinking, no, it's not a very permanent solution, but it's enough to hold the shapes where they need to be ready for fiberglassing later. Start to build up the numbered layers, a few strips of tape each, and your figure starts to reveal itself quite quickly. Every few layers, get the scissors back out. As you begin to see the curves build up, you can further refine the shapes by trimming the blend between each layer. This takes time, but it's well worth it. The smoother you can make the joins between your layers, the better your mannequin will look in the end. Moving on to the body, same approach. Few strips of double-sided tape to keep it all together and start to further tidy up and trim the surfaces. Our body is starting to take shape, it's definitely getting bigger. It's at this point I was really glad I masking taped my fingers. You don't want blisters, believe me. It's inevitable you will at some point cut off more than you wanted to. Not a problem, an extra piece of double-sided tape and an offcut of foam and you can easily patch up any holes. As your model gets larger, it may require a bit more reinforcing. A good tip is to use barbecue skewers pushed into your foam, passing through multiple layers. If you put them in at quite steep angles, they will be more effective at holding your foam together. Onto the legs, same process. The extra trimming really does make a big difference to the overall look of the figure once it's put together. I did find it quite tricky getting the backing tape off the double-sided tape once it was stuck onto the foam. What I ended up doing was using the end of a pair of scissors to kind of scrape the layers apart. I found it worked much better than a fingernail. Nearly there, the body and legs are complete, looking good. Even seeing it on my desk like this, you still don't think it's large enough for a 6-foot person. With a figure like this, there's no guarantee it will stand up on its own. You hope it will, but it's better to put in precautions just in case. I'm embedding a block of wood into the base of each foot, so I have the option to screw through onto a baseboard. I ended up not needing this, and he stood up just fine on his own, but I'm glad I put the effort there just in case. Construct the arms in a similar way to the rest of the body, double-sided tape and a few more barbecue skewers, and our figure's basically ready for fiberglassing. Before we fiberglass, the legs, they do need some adjustment. I've hung a simple weight from the roof of my garage, and as you can see, one leg is not as straight as the other one. It's not surprising really. Blue foam isn't the most precise material in the world, and it's perfectly possible your shapes aren't perfectly symmetrical either on both legs. It's an easy fix. Eyeing it up, just use some masking tape, again hung from the roof, to tape your leg in the correct position before we fiberglass. Not much to say about the fiberglassing process itself. It's pretty straightforward. I get all my materials from cfsnet.co.uk, linked down below. I'm using general purpose resin and tissue fiberglass. No need for anything thicker on this, the tissue will be quite sufficient. As I need the arms to be detachable, I have, like the foot, embedded a block of wood into the shoulder and arm pieces. Continuing with the fiberglassing, just one layer of tissue will do. As with everything, it will take longer than you thought. When I was doing this, it was bitterly cold, which didn't help my curing times. Once it's all fiberglassed, the torso is attached to the legs, etc., you get something like this. What I'm doing here is giving it a quick once over with sandpaper to remove any lumps and bumps and sharp points, things like that. Here I am attaching the arms, again pretty simple. I have drilled a 12mm hole into the shoulder wood piece, wood glued a wooden dowel in there overnight. Make a similar hole on the arms themselves and they should just slide on. I screwed a small screw into the arm through the wooden dowel just to keep them in place. This will all be covered up when he's dressed, so again, it doesn't matter. This is a purely functional thing and it just doesn't matter what it looks like. Next, I took it outside on a very cold Thursday morning to prime it grey. Our cat shot off as soon as he saw me coming, or I should say, saw him coming. So yeah, there we go. Finished. There's your mannequin. It's not bad for 3 days.